Romania, from your favorite artist list, Mr. Q12 here. Alright. So, what do we have here? We have, like I promised, and I'm always keeping my promises, I have a C# Windows application. I converted pretty much, you see, Windows Forms application. So originally I made this console application, and then I made a Windows Forms application, which this means this means I can insert labels, text fields like this. This is a text box here. You can see it here in the corner what it means. When I click this is a button. As you can see, another text box. This is a panel with some pixels. These are actually labels. Like this label. This label actually I transform it into a button. Also this one because it's a bit. I like it like that. When I'm running it, it's actually reading exactly like before, exactly like in the console application, and also is auto resetting because I inserted a routine there to auto reset to count to 20, and when it's reaching 20 is resetting everything and come back to 0, not to fill up too much this text field that I'm having here. But I can do this, and if you see this is the 20, and when I'm running it now, it will not auto reset. It will flow and flow and flow forever. Unfortunately, I know for a fact that the longer this text field is filling up, the slower will run. So it's good not to fill it up too much. I have a functional pause and play button here. You see, when I click this button here, is transforming itself in play. You can actually see it here how it's made. Actually, this is the entire routine, and is inserting a pause label there, text, whatever, and I can scroll up and down and see what's happening. Unfortunately, in reality, is not pausing the flow of data that is coming from the communication port, COM5, is actually pausing here inside this window that I have it right now. And by some luck, I can reach exactly at this point, but most of the time is somewhere inside here in this field. And that's why I put this pause label there to actually know that this was interrupted somewhere there, and then it's continuing running. And this is a reset button that is doing is cleaning up the text field. This is the reset here, the reset button. If I'm clicking it, is making the text, is cleaning up the text pretty much. And this function here, this method, that's an event text change. When the text is changed, is making the scroll go down, exactly as in the console application when you've seen everything going down. And you know, that I wanted to emulate. Also, in serial monitor from Arduino program is also the same functionality. You see everything going down, 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 and the scroll is also down, and you see the first as the last one. Okay, now the functionality, how I made. Unfortunately, I'll make this screenshot here. So this part here is not implemented at all. So don't pay attention to this part because it's not implemented. Only this part is implemented on the left side here. So let me close this. As you already figured it out, this is just I was playing here on the right side, and it will come next. I have something in plan. I'm not sure how I will make it and if it will actually work. It's highly experimental what I will do next. But until here, I make it work. So that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm presenting. It can be made. It can work if you put your mind to it. So let me pause it. It says here, pause, it says, and you see how much data it collected and is inside this list. So let me actually open this text file here. And if I'm copying some data from whatever, from this text field, I can paste it here very easily. And if I want to collect more stuff from it, I'm selecting it, Control C and Control V, and you see, voila, you have it. To analyze, to introduce it in something, to look at it closely, to actually count those bits and figure out if it's a problem and where is the problem. And it's very good, this functionality to play and pause it when you want it. And I have to leave it for a couple of minutes to fill up for some time, and then pause it like I did here right now, and copy the data and analyze it after. But this is very, very manual and tedious way of doing it. Usually I am doing it manually and tedious until I figure out automated. But for some very long time I actually do it manually and tediously. usually. Rarely I'm automating it because automation is good when you are going with the idea further. But if you only are testing something, manual mode, doing stuff manually is much more simpler, much more easier from some perspective, if you want. Okay, so let's look at the code itself. Unfortunately, let me show you. So the basics file here, I don't need it anymore. So let me show you the code from console application. I'll open it. So you see, it's very, very simplistic, very easy to implement as a console application, which is phenomenal good. But in a Windows Form application, it's a bit more complicated, unfortunately. So you see this, I made a region here, and I'm highly using regions in very complex codes because it is helping visually with the flow of the. And if I'm doing that, bang, everything is inside. I call it routines. It's the button when the text box is changed. When the buttons functionality inside them, the reset. These are for me in how I think about things. They belong to routines, something that is not very important, pretty much. But what is very important, I leave it without these fields, without this region that I have there. So this is actually the code here, exactly like in this console code here. We're very close to it, but it's the same logic, pretty much. It's the same logic. But to actually convert it into Windows Form application, you have to add this function. Set text is called, and is a delegate. It's a bit complicated because I find this on internet because it's a threading problem. You are listening to a thread that is not in the same Windows application like this. This is the Form1 thread. It's only one thread that is doing all the clicking button, listening to your text boxes if you are writing something. It's only one thread. But here, this data that I'm receiving is from another thread, different from the Form1 window. So for that, you need a special stuff. I did threading another way, a bit more complicated than it is here. A bit more logical, but a bit way more complicated than it is here. This is a simplified threading, and I got lucky to find it like this. And it's pretty much the error that I got was at this point here when I was, you see, when I, instead of console write line here, and this one, and this one, right, especially when you have to display it, when you have to display the data, that was the error that I got, and that's the threading issue problem. So to resolve it, so it doesn't work with label.text, listen to this X, I don't know what text, exception, this is for exception, but here is no problem. You can add it like this here, but here, receive data, this receive data is from the port, is reading the line, port read line, and is inserting it into the string receive data, and this thing doesn't like, it's from another thread pretty much, and that thread you have to deal with it, and yeah, it's a bit more complicated, but it's not that complicated. That's the thing. You can pause the video. You can you can copy the stuff that I'm having here and adapt it to your code that you have there, especially if you don't use Visual Studio 2010 like I'm having here. And yeah, this is the code. This is it. This region with routines, you can insert it or not. Depends on you how you want everything to be, but pretty much this is it until now. This is the board of Arduino. This is its wire. These are the sensors, the input sensors that are coming into the Arduino board. Here is the chip inside the Arduino board that is doing all this stuff, and the serial USB to serial conversion is doing this very important thing, USB to serial conversion, and it's transmitting this serial data through this wire into my PC. And inside my PC with the monitor here, like this, and with the keyboard. And when I'm writing code here, I'm listening to this wire data that is coming, and the data is in that form that I presented there, 101010, whatever it is, 8 of them, and next line and next line and next line, all 1010, 8 of them. Let me actually put 8 of them like that. So 8 1010, whatever it is, that line it will change depending on the sensors. And this line is called COM5 in my case, COM5 in my case. And on this COM5, I'm listening this serial line through Arduino program, and also from this code in C# that is actually listening this COM5 here. You see it here, is listening directly that line. That line is like a tube, a tube with water, and the water is coming through that tube, and the water is flowing down, and I only have to put here something to catch that water and to receive that data, like it's water. And I'm doing it with Arduino program or with C# program, doesn't matter. The specific C# code is directly accessing this COM5 and its data that is flowing through it. It's that simple. It's that extremely simple procedure and mentality and architecture, if you want. So that's it, And this is all the code that you need to use. Actually, use my advice if you want to build something like this. My advice is not to jump into Windows application, but stick with console application, the one that I had it here, because this is way more simple and easier to understand. This is it. This is all you have to put. All this code is the magic code that is listening to that pipe with water. That is all the data that is coming through that pipe, and is writing what he is seeing at a certain time. Because this read, let me explain a little bit in depth. Reads up to the you see here, read the available data from the serial port, but read the line until is getting that new line. When he's getting a new line, is putting the data that he read until that new line is putting it into the string, and this string is sent to console pretty much. And you can see, and after that new line is starting to memorize another string of bits of data, 0, 1, 0, 1, and when it's reaching that new line, then it's stopping and is sending it to console for you to read it. That's the entire thing. That this is very, very simplistic here. It's getting a bit more complicated in the Windows Form applications because you have to kind of scratch with the leg around your head, a little bit. You have to use the threading system, which is a bit complicated, but it's not that much complicated if you are insistent and you don't give up easily. I personally did a lot of C# in my life, and I'm kind of used to hard stuff. And I'm not very good, but I'm good enough, And yeah, pretty much this is it at this point. So at this point, I managed to make the functionality as it is or as it was in the console application. And if I'm running the console application, you'll see it's exactly the same thing as before. It's running exactly like in my Windows application. No, it's the same thing. And yeah, but this is a bit more easier code here than what I have here. But here with Windows Form application, I can add something that in console application I cannot add it. So I can add some visual logic, if I may say so. You will see in the next video most probably if I will manage to make it, and if it will be clear enough or helpful enough. I'm not sure. But so far I can listen the same I was listening with this code here. Actually, also with this code until this routine. So all this code that I'm having here, I can listen that COM5 port at this frequency or baud rate, whatever it is, and I can obtain the data, and also I can send it to a text box here to display it, and pretty much that's it. And actually I can interact with the display box to pause it or reset it, and yeah, this is a good advancement. Probably this kind of code is a bit more advanced for some people, but I have some years, like I don't know, 15 years of coding, learning and coding for pleasure, of course, because I like to code in C#, especially, and I learned this language and I was helped on the forums of with C# people who were extraordinarily good and extraordinarily helpful along the years, you know. And I also have some friends there. I believe they are Americans, but I'm not entirely sure if they are Americans. Probably they are Europeans, because Americans, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but pretty much this is it about this thing that I made. Stay close and look forward for the next one, when I will add something interesting here in this right side of the program, hopefully, and hopefully it will be helpful. We will see. I am curious as you are right now at this point. I don't know what I will make here. I have something in mind, but I'm not very extremely sure how practical or how easy it will be to be built. But we will see in time. All right, thank you very much for now. Also, it will be extraordinarily nice if people like me, with the knowledge that I have and the perseverance that I have, it will be nice to actually make money with stuff like this. But I'm not in capitalism. The capitalism that I'm living into, and I'm repeating it numerous times because people don't believe me or don't believe people like me. But there is such a thing as a poor capitalism, especially outside of United States. Most probably inside the United States, America, everything is dandy, everything is perfect from the capitalistic point of view. Everybody is getting money on how they deserve it. If they are smart and if they can do stuff professionally, they make money on that. But it's not the case everywhere else, except and probably Germany is like the America, and probably Russia. I'm not sure. I'm just speaking from my ass right now a little bit, but from my observation, from me talking with other people on internet, on chat, on forums, on Facebook, even watching them and seeing them how they are reacting to normal stuff. It looks like I just explained so far, but they are unaware that some people in some areas or some cities from another parts of the world are suffering extremely from poverty and everything else. And I am in that kind of city, unfortunately. And yeah, I am poor for more than 10 years. I'm not working from more than 10 years. I couldn't find a job for what I know to do. For shit like low-level bullshit work that everybody can do, that like pushing hard stuff, lifting hard stuff, heavy stuff, I don't know, low-level working. That is common and that is relatively easy to find, and on very low money, of course, a very low salary. I don't think it's called even a salary. It's minimum per allocated per budget, is something like that, minimum budget. And yeah, it will be nice to actually earn money, make money on what you know what to do. Doesn't matter who you are. In my case, I am an artist. I have a diploma of an artist, a traditional artist, but I am also a digital artist, and I know a lot of shit to do, a lot of stuff, but nobody really, I don't know, it's impossible to get money from what you know, especially in capitalism. And I will repeat it for the, I don't know, people are getting upset on me when I'm telling this kind of truth, but it is a face of the truth, of the today capitalism truth. And it's a shame. It's a shame because I am one of those smart people. I consider myself smart enough. I'm not the smartest on the globe, but I'm smart enough, and I know my place. I'm not an idiot, and I'm not a stupid one. And believe me, I've seen those. They cannot lift a finger by themselves. Yeah, imagine making money in capitalism. Just imagine it. How wow it will be. And I mean for everybody that is capable of doing stuff. And yeah, it will be cool to actually make money in capitalism. This is my highest desire, this to see it happening. Unfortunately, it's not happening, or it is happening, but for very few people, very special people in very special places. I don't know what those special places are and what those special people are, how they are called, but I'm pretty sure it's a very small percentage. And those small percentage, they are saying, everybody everywhere is like we are living here, but it's not. It's definitely not. unfortunately. And everybody is kissing in the ass this capitalism. I'm not kissing it in the ass. I'm telling you that this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Yeah. All right. So my failures, my life failures, and also my life pleasures is what I'm presenting. All right. I hope I don't offend anyone too much. A little bit, yes, but not too much, you know. And I hope you understand my point of view. That's what I'm saying here. Thank you very much for everything, and I hope you like it. And yeah, see you later. Bye bye. From Romania, from our favorite artist electronics, Mr. Q12, who doesn't earn shit from all his knowledge. Bye bye.